Dr. Dre said that he likes the idea of one producer on an album. And he says he doesn't like when there's like a multiple producers on one album. It just doesn't bode well with him, right? And Snoop Dogg, called out the originality in hip hop, that there hasn't really been anything original out there. Everybody's copying and pasting, which he said multiple times as the years went on.
I just love getting in the studio with people that I love to get down with. That's all it is to it. As corny or as generic as that may sound, that's just what I do.
What would y'all tell an artist today that, you're an aspiring artist, you want to make it, you want to get in the room and put that work in?
Be original. Be original, because right now it's so much copycat, mimicking, sounding alike, imitation. Be original. Find your voice. Find your production sound. Find your ear for who you are, and be original. Even if it ain't hitting, stay you.
Find your collaborator. I don't like the fact that there's like 9 different producers on one album. I like the idea of one producer on one album. The continuity is everything.
Yeah, where did that come from? Where did it come from where you got cats that want to be with 9 different producers on one album and stuff like that? When the hell did that start?
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like it. If you're a producer, you should be able to produce the entire album. That's what I thought it was supposed to be.
Right.
That's what I was doing at the beginning.
There's a lot of beat makers though, Doc. That's what the difference between your era and this era is, that there aren't too many producers as much as there are beat makers. It's so easy to make beats. They're giving you all these computer package that has the drum loop, has this, y'all had to make the loop.
I feel like it's a change that's happening right now, from all this mumble rap thing and everything that's happening right now. There's somebody in somebody's garage that's happening right now that's going to be the next Snoop or Dre or next Prince or Michael Jackson or whatever, that's coming up with something that's going to change the game. It's got to happen right now, and it's wide open, because everything that's happening right now in the music game is especially hip hop is weird as fuck.
But I wanted to talk about that, because I actually thought about it. I was like, listen, what are my classic albums? What are my favorite albums? My favorite album of all time is obviously Get Rich or Die Trying. Is that produced by one producer? No. But what is my favorite? Eminem's Relapse and Eminem's Eminem Show album are mainly produced by Dr. Dre and Eminem. They have a mixture, right? They both do the thing. So it's not really 2 producers. I don't really consider Eminem a producer, but he had his own little part in it. And I really love those albums. But you got to really think, what albums do you really love that are produced by solely one producer? Off the top of my head, it's really hard to think, besides those Eminem albums, at least that you would consider classics. That's kind of, I got to put that out there. Not just like regular albums, but things that you would consider classics. I do think if an artist and the producer have great chemistry together, they should make, a full album together. Who's a good example? Chief Keef and Young Chop. I wish when Chief Keef dropped Finally Rich, which I still love Finally Rich, but mainly Young Chop produced that. Those two are a great duo. Drake and 40, great duo. Eminem, Dr. Dre, great duo. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, great duo. I don't know, 50 with a straight Dr. Dre Dr. Dre produced album, fully Dr. Dre produced album. That would be interesting. But here's the thing: Pharrell offered to produce an album entirely by 50, but 50 denied it. He said, I don't like my albums being produced by one producer. He actually said that before, so that was disappointing. Who else offered? I think Birdman offered to executive produce this album. Who else? I don't remember I think there was one more person that offered. But, it just depends, man. It depends on the artist. Some artists do better with features on their albums. Some artists don't. Some artists, like, for me, Kevin Gates, I don't want him to have features on his albums. I really like him as a solo artist. And then there's some artists where I just can't listen to solo and I need features on there. There has to be some type of features on there. But hey, everything is different. Whatever works for you. But I do think when Dr. Dre said, hey, in order to be consider yourself a producer, you have to be able to do the whole album. I do agree with that. I think if you can't do a whole album with an artist at least one time and have it work really well, then you're not really a producer. You're just a beat maker. Let's just say that. But interesting conversation, man. Think about that, guys. What is an album that you think is a classic that is solely produced by one producer? I go with the Eminem Show and Relapse, but I can't. Maybe I'm missing something. I know people are going to comment and be like, what about this? I'm probably missing something 100%. But to me, those are like, I don't really consider, like if you don't know, I don't use the word classic lightly. Even with Eminem's Relapse and Eminem Show, they're like 9.5. They're not 10 out of 10s to me. They're not classics officially. Now, will that change as the years go on? Potentially. But to me, they're like in the 9.5 range, almost classics. They got like 1 or 2 tracks that I was like, For me to consider something a classic, I have to like every single track, never be able to skip, and I just love everything about it. So that's my standard for classics, but I know other people have different standards. So think towards your standard of a classic. Think, what is a classic album that's been produced by just solely one producer? I really want to see what people think about that, what they say. But the only ones I can, off the top of my head, is the Eminem projects. I think let me see, I might be wrong. Jay-Z, did he have Just Blaze or something to produce one album or something like that? Or I doubt it, but he did have like a run where he was solely focusing on certain producers. Because I don't, yeah, Just Blaze was a lot on a lot of projects and tracks, but not even just Blaze. He had obviously Timbaland and a bunch of people, but yeah, I don't know. I can't think of, let me see, hip hop albums produced by one producer. Hip hop albums produced by one producer. Savage Mode 2, The College Dropout, which is Kanye West, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Here are the best hip hop albums created by one producer. Yeah, Savage Mode 2, Kanye West, College Dropout, okay. Currency, The Alchemist, Carlton Heights, okay. Boldy James, The Alchemist, okay. Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style, Juvenile, 400 Degrees, okay. Hot Boys, Benny Fresh, Guerrilla Warfare, Pusha T and Kanye West, Daytona, that was pretty good. Key and Kenny Beats, 777, Royce the 590 DJ Premier Prime, okay. MF Doom and Madlib, Mad Villain, okay. Andre 3000, Love Below, interesting. Wu-Tang, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Okay, that is a classic. Pinata as well, Freddie Gibbs and Madlib. A lot of people consider that a classic. Jay-Z and No ID. Okay, so I knew Jay-Z had. I just forgot what album. So No ID solely produced 444. But do people really like 444? Yeah, there's a few albums here and there that are produced by one producer. But hey, I don't know if you can consider Eminem ones because Eminem produced as well. So is it really one producer? But I still consider it because I don't really consider Eminem a producer, quote unquote. He does make beats, but I don't know. It's a thin line between that. But let me know what you guys think, man. I think it's an interesting conversation. I do agree with Dr. Dre, though. I think one producer is probably one of the best things that you can have.